Hey everyone, welcome back to Sollestro, and in this video I'm going to show you another really cool feature. So let's get straight into it. If you look at the very top here, you can see that there's a toggle which switches between video mode and photo mode. Now, as you may know, Resolve 21 has introduced the photo page where you can edit photos, well, similarly to Adobe Lightroom or other raw photo editing softwares. So what we introduced in Sollestro is a selection/culling feature that will help you select the best photos or any kind of selection that you want to make. Basically, in a similar way to video mode, you have the option to create and edit a prompt in plain English, and Sollestro will do the selection for you. I would like to call it selection and not culling, as other apps out there like Imagine AI or Aftershoot do, because I think, you know, if you come back from a shoot with thousands of photos, you just want to basically select the best ones rather than remove the unusable ones. That's why my preferred word is selection rather than culling. Okay, well, let me walk you through the changes between video mode and photo mode. As you switch between the two, you notice some UI changes, but I'm just gonna keep it really short. So instead of the FFmpeg tool for grabbing frames from a video, we now use EXIF tool to convert from RAW and generate thumbnails that will be sent to Claude for analysis. So again, analysis is the first stage. Up here, similarly, you have the choice for Claude model you want to use for either selection or analysis. So let's set these up. For the purpose of this demo video and keeping the costs low, I'm going to go with Haiku. For selection, I think I'm going to keep Sonnet prompt cache. We're gonna leave that one as is. So what happens is, Sollestro, after the analysis stage, the selection is basically flagging all the photos with different colored flags. Green would be for the keepers, so the best ones, or whatever you want, whatever you prompt them to do to select. Because, for example, you can prompt different things, not just say, right, I want the best photos. You can do something like keep the best 500, select the top 10%, or you can say I want all photos with bride and groom together. And I mean, these are all from wedding perspective, but you can other examples: best 30 portraits with sharp eyes, natural expression, no blinks. Or you can say reject any soft motion blurred people facing away, no matter the genre. So for example, in wildlife and bird photography, you can say sharp eye on the animal, full subject in frame, best 100 shots, drop the blurred ones. Or in sports and action, you can say peak action frames, ball and face visible, one best per play. You know, in landscape, one strong frame per location. Street or documentary photography, you can say keep the decisive moments, strong gesture or expression, don't overcool similar ones. Product, e-commerce, concert, live music. For example, you know, live music, and say lead performer in good light, mic not covering the face, best 80. And I will show you later on some other examples. Oh yeah, and Sollestro is going to create another bin inside the bin with all the photos, where it's going to move all the keepers, all the green flagged photos, into that bin, which you can then take and create an album. Right, so here in the analysis cache, I just pointed it to a folder on my computer where I wanted to save all the cache files. I've started Resolve opened a project which I created. It's a small wedding my wife photographed a while ago, and we're gonna use this one as a demonstration. I've put all the photos, which are about 1200, into a raw photos bin, and in photo page we have all of them here. Nothing has been done to them, it's just a bunch of raw files. Now back in Sollestro, let's go through all the remaining settings to make sure everything's good to go for the analysis and selection. So first, we're going to make sure we have the analysis cache going into the right place. I've selected a folder here, so you can select whatever folder you want on your machine. Then description quality can be 5, 10, 15 sentences. I'm going with 5 sentences. Similar here, you can go between entire project for analysis or just selected bins. I've already put raw photos in here by clicking on the bins in the bins list. I will cover these a little bit later, but these are some really cool new features. But for the analysis stage, we don't need them. But let me draw your attention to this toggle here, which is switching between batch mode and instant. And what this does, it sends the photos to Claude for analysis either instantly, which means they are prioritized in the servers, but the first difference you would notice, batch costs half of what instant would cost. So basically, if you select batch, in theory the analysis may take longer. In practice, not by much. So I would always go with batch, especially if you have thousands and thousands of photos in a project. So let's leave it here and then go for analyze photos. So the first stage is preparing photos, which means initially it uses the EXIF tool to generate thumbnails, as I was saying earlier, all ready to be sent to Claude for analysis. Okay, so let me tell you about the My Selection Style feature, which is always also present in video mode. So what this does, basically, like the name says, it learns your selecting style. So what you have to do is load some finished projects, all the photos in some finished projects in Resolve, point the bins. You can do 1, 2 or as many projects as you want, all in their own separate bin. Point Sollestro to the bins you want analyzed, and based on the way you used, so these have to be selected by you, and then Sollestro is looking at your selections and judges and creates an MD style with your selection style, which you can load here. You can create a different style for all the different types of projects or photography genres you do. You can create one for each. And in a similar manner, but these are just general knowledge, I have created, and these come as a package with Sollestro, a list of photography genres which help Sollestro make better judgments when selecting your photos. It covers 50 genres. These only are used in the AI selection phase, not in the analysis phase. And for my project here, because it's a wedding, I'm selecting a wedding photography, but there are a lot to choose from. If the exact genre that you did is not here, you can choose the nearest one, or you can go to the learning my selection style here in Sollestro, and it will learn your style. So you have all these options. So let's open that one, and we're all set for the next phase. While Sollestro is creating the thumbnails and sending them over, we're just going to leave it and come back when it's finished. Okay, after a little while, the analysis is finished already. 0 photos failed, and we get all saved in the cache. All we have to do now is create a prompt to begin our selection. So for this one, just the first selection, I'm just gonna be really lazy and do a really short one, really easy. So out of the 1200 photos roughly, I want a selection of, let's say, 300 usable shots. So I'm just gonna say select the absolute best 300, and then I'm gonna hit send into the chat and see what happens. Just like in the video mode, Sollestro may go ahead or may ask me a few questions, and I'm gonna go ahead and answer them. Got back to me with a few more questions. I mean, if it was a real actual project, you would spend the time to answer all of these, but for now I'm just gonna say so as you can see, this is a real life situation. I've run out of credits. All I need to do is buy more credits. Okay, so after I bought more credits, all I'm gonna say now is and there we go, we have a really detailed prompt. All I'm gonna do next is hit the use as prompt button, and just like in the video mode, can go through everything, every detail, make any changes. Let me just actually add the bin name in here and go for AI selection. Obviously, if this was a real wedding, an actual project, I would take the time to make changes, make sure this is all accurate. I would also most likely use the adapt prompt button to actually adapt this prompt to the content of my analyzed photos. That would be a massive help. As you can see here, it's already using the wedding photography MD file from the knowledge base, which covers a lot of good information about what a good wedding photograph is. So let's see how it's going to look. I'm just gonna let it run and come back when it's nearly finished. So Sollestro's nearly finished the selection process, and we're back in Resolve, and as you can see, the flags are starting to appear. When it's gonna finish flagging all photos, all the green selected ones are going to be moved into a new bin. And here we are. This is the raw photos. This is a newly created bin with all the selected photos. What you can do now, create a new photo album using the selected bins. That's it. Name your album. Obviously, you can review your selection, make changes, go back into raw photos. The red flag means rejects, orange means maybe, You can go through all of them, see if there are any you still want to use. Okay, that's it. Now that we have our main selection done in this bin here, I'm going to show you another use case for Sollestro's selection. Normally, with every wedding, any photographer nowadays, they would, apart from the colored edited photos, they will offer us a smaller selection of black and white photos. So for this, we're going to make another selection using Sollestro from the main selection already done, a smaller selection which will be later converted in black and white photos. So for this, I have a brief which I already created. Just going to paste it in here specifically for a black and white selection. Send that to prompt builder. And we have a really nice and detailed prompt. You can have a good look at the generated prompt, make all the changes you want, make sure everything's right. I'm just going to leave it as is, and before I hit the AI selection, let's make sure we have all the settings right. So I wanted to create a new bin with this new selection code, and then I wanted to use only the already selected photos, not everything. So I'm going to insert the name of the bin in here, and we are ready to go. Now back in Resolve, you will notice that all the flags are going to reset, but that's okay because your initial selection is already safe into its own bin, and all the green ones now are the black and white ones, again moved into their own new bin. So here we are. You can convert all of these to black and white and edit all the others as you normally would your color photos. It selected 38 photos for a black and white conversion, which I think is a pretty good ratio. So here we are. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video.